Hi guys, it's me, Courtney, and I'm back. It's literally been like I looked at my watch like my watch knew the answer. It's literally been like 2.5 years since I made a video. So much has changed. This video is just to let you know where I've been and why I'm back and what my plans are for the future, and the obvious name change in my channel. If you've been with me for a while, you know that my name magically changed, and so I really just wanted to talk about those three things just as an intro, because I didn't want to just put content out there and be like, surprise, I'm back. I just wanted to kind of explain the differences and the changes and what's happening and all that jazz. So I'm not going to say let's get into it, even though that's what's in my head, because that's what everybody says. So I need a new catchphrase because I don't want to be like everybody else. But anyways, let's talk about it. So let's start with first the changes that have happened in my life. If I haven't even looked at my last video, but I'm pretty sure if it's not my last video, it's one of my last videos was about how to be happy at work. If that was not a precursor or an indication of how I was feeling at the time. I mean, I'm not going to say that I wasn't happy, but I'll say like I just didn't really feel like I belonged anymore, if that makes sense. Like I was still involved. I had friends at work. I was doing a good job. I just didn't feel like I belonged anymore. Like there were just so many changes. I just started to feel like that job fit the old me and not the new me, if that makes sense. And when I got the job, I was 21 years old, fresh out of college, and I really, I know I was supposed to be at my old job, like just the way that God set it up. But I was 21 and I was young and dumb, as most of us are. And I was learning and growing and all of that. And at the end of my time there, I was, 35 now? I was about 33, about to be 34, I guess. And I was a different person than when I first was hired. And so I felt like just being there, like I grew as much as I could grow, and I kind of hit a ceiling. And you ever get to this feeling where like you feel like everybody thinks they know you, and yet you've changed so much and people can't really see the new you, they just see the old you. And not that there was anything bad per se about the old me, it's just I wanted people to know me just for the new me and not what they think they knew. So that's the bottom line of how I was feeling. Nothing happened dramatic, nobody did anything to me. I just needed change, and I started putting my feelers out there. And I don't know if you believe in a higher power or not, but I definitely believe that it was a setup. Like God just like opened so many doors for me that it was impossible for me not to walk through them. I mean, and that's how I feel like I'm usually doing the right thing, is when things happen so easily and I'm not even really trying and the doors open. That's when I know like I'm supposed to do this. And going to this new job that I took was just so effortless and quick and easy and all of that. So that was 2 years ago, guys. So I've been at my new job. It's not even new anymore. I've been at my new job for like 2 years now. I'm ending my second year there. I'm a lot closer to Atlanta, which I absolutely love. So that's kind of changed my personal life as well. So we're closer to the city. We're not in the city, but we're closer. The demographics are very different. The school is very different. And I kind of did that on purpose because I wanted my resume, when I'm done teaching, I wanted my resume to show that I worked with all people and all kinds of people. And I wanted that experience of teaching all kinds of kids from all kinds of backgrounds and making all kinds of friends from different, like, that's just me. That's just my personality. The school that I taught at before was Title I. This one is the exact opposite of Title One. And the school I was at before, like both schools are very diverse culturally, just different parts of town basically. But the diversity is definitely there in both. I am not coaching cheerleading anymore. Actually, our school doesn't even do cheerleading the way that it's set up. What else is different? I really just kind of jumped in and tried to get involved as much as I could. And I'm teaching 8th grade. The past 2 years, I've taught just like regular 8th grade classes. And this year, I'm teaching 3 9th grade lit classes and 2 what we call on-level classes. And one of those 2 on-levels are co-taught, and I'm so happy about that. Mainly because our teacher is amazing. My co-teacher is amazing. So I'm super excited about that. And I've made friends and I'm loving my new job. I still talk to my old friends. So I kind of have the best of both worlds. So that's the major change that happened 2.5 years ago that I didn't tell you guys about, which it leads to why I stopped YouTube altogether. Basically, purposely wanted to just focus on teaching, like, and going to a new school and, you know, making a reputation for myself and giving my all to my students. I mean, obviously I want to keep that going, but I wanted to kind of find my niche at the school and, you know, just put everything I had into that. And once I felt comfortable, then I would jump back into YouTube if I wanted to. And that's basically what happened. And then now we've been home for so long, I'm like, well, why not? Why not take some of my time at home and just jump back into the YouTube thing? And on top of that, I've had some experiences that made me feel like people just really made me feel like they value what I say. And I hate saying things like that because I'm the type of person, I'm kind of shy and like I don't want to make it sound like I think I know everything, because I don't. But I did get this past school year, I had the experience to be able to present to a lot of teachers in our area, and like so many of them like came up to me and talked to me like what I felt like what I was saying was like basic, but it was just like people were coming to me just wanting more and wanting my materials and like just wanting to talk to me. And that meant so much to me to know that people valued what I had to say. And I just was like, you know what, if people in my own community and school district are wanting to hear this stuff, then maybe I should put it out there for everybody and like benefit the whole teaching community online. So that was a big push and telling me like, all right, Courtney, we got to get this show on the road. So that's another reason why I decided to get back into the whole YouTube thing. To be clear, like I would love to make money off YouTube, but that's not at all my goal. I really just love collaborating and sharing ideas. That I watch lots of teachers on YouTube, so it's not like it's something I just want to help build the teacher community on YouTube. So, yeah, those are the reasons why I kind of felt jolted back into picking it back up, even though it's been a long time. The last thing I wanted to talk about is my name change. So, Plan to Be Perfect was my name before. So if you've been around for a while, you know that was my name. And I picked it with good intentions. You know, if you go back and you watch I think it's like my first video where I explain why I picked Plan to Be Perfect, like the whole goal or premise of the name was not to say that anyone's perfect, because no human is perfect. Like, duh, come on, we know that. But it was more so to say that the more you plan, the more perfect you can be, if that makes sense. The problem with that is that not everyone watches the first video. So like when they see your name, that's the first thing they see. And I feel like just based on comments I've heard, like from people that I know and people that I don't know, like I just feel like people took it the wrong way, like the name of it. It really wasn't a lot of people that felt that way, but just a couple of comments was enough for me to like, that's never the vibe that I want to give off. Like I never want to come off as thinking that I have it all together, because Lord knows that I don't. Yeah, I didn't want that vibe at all. Like, I didn't want one person to ever think that that's my goal, is to show everybody how perfect I am. So I just decided to change the name, and it partially came with like a vision I had for myself. I've been on like a spiritual journey as well, like just relearning things that I thought I knew about like my faith, and seeing things way, way differently than I had been taught growing up in church. And as I've been on this grace message journey of what everything really does mean to me, I saw how a lot of it correlated with how I teach, and I realized that a lot of the things I was learning spiritually, I was already doing in my classroom, and I had no idea. Like, I didn't realize that I was doing it, and that's probably like where the success came in a lot of areas, because I was operating in grace. And so it just kind of clicked for me one day, and I thought how like the word grace can be used in so many ways. Like, you can give grace to people when they don't deserve it, and I find myself doing that for students, for parents, for coworkers. But also, like, I need grace all the time when I make mistakes, or I forget things, or I do things the wrong way. Like, I'm always in need of grace. But also, like, when you do something gracefully, to me it's beautiful, and you take time and effort into it. And that's just a big hobby and passion of mine, is to put grace and beauty into teaching. I just love making things beautiful and appealing to my students and parents and things like that. And so I see that as grace too. And so I just decided to change the name to Teach Gracefully, because I felt like that was more of my heart and more of the direction that I wanted to go in. And it also covered like all of the bases of the things I'd like to talk about, like just how to do things differently in your classroom so that you're building relationships with your students and your coworkers and your bosses, but you're also like producing quality work that shows gracefulness and grace in class and things like that. So those are the 3 things I wanted to tell you. Now, I know there's a lot of chit chat. Thank you if you stuck around for this whole conversation. But I am going to post a new video soon with actual content, and I'll give you a secret. It's all about like what to do when you don't know what to do over the summer. And it's kind of geared towards people that are either brand new teachers, because I remember being an eager brand new teacher and I didn't know what to do over the summer, but I knew I wanted to do something, and I would do all these things, and then I realized like you can't even use that anymore. Like, I was the teacher that put all of the names from online into my grade book, and then realized like all my rosters changed the next day. So one, for new teachers that want to know like what to do that's actually helpful. 2, for maybe you're changing schools like I did a couple of years ago, and you're super eager to get started and you don't know what to do, that or you just want ideas of what you can do that are still going to be applicable when you get there. And 3, maybe you're just a teacher that normally takes the whole summer off, but you're bored and you just want to jump on in there. So that's what my first video is going to be about. I also want to do a disclaimer that I'm not following an upload schedule right now. I'm giving myself grace in that area because I'm a busy person. Like, I'm a mom. Well, typically I'm a mom. I'm always a mom. What am I talking about? I was trying to say typically I'm busy, and I'm also a mom. So with those 2 things together, right now I don't feel like I'm in a place I can promise to always have something done at a certain time. That's not like my first priority work, if that makes sense. So I am promising you that every time I am inspired and I have time, I will upload a video, and I hope that you watch them as they come out and share them. And you will see my new video pop up pretty soon, so be on the lookout for it. Until then, I need something to say right there. Be graceful. Teach gracefully. Should I just say teach gracefully? Put put in the comments what you think I should say at the end. Something cute. Love you.